Hello everyone, this is Maki. Today I have 3 pieces of Gundam toy news to share with you. First, we have a figure from Gundam Wing. The popular Gundam Death Size figure will be officially released. This product was previously displayed at an event where prototypes of figures and other items were shown. Next, let's talk about an extremely expensive Gunpla. This Gunpla combines traditional Japanese craftsmanship. People familiar with traditional techniques have given a complex evaluation saying the price is high, but it could also be considered affordable. What kind of product could it be? Finally, we have the BYG-ZAM figure from the first Gundam. Recently announced and surprising many fans, we'll take a closer look at the interview with the developers of the robot spirits, BYG-ZAM. Let's dive into the news. First up is the Gundam Death Size Endless Waltz version with loose set equipment released under the Gundam Fix Figuration brand. Gundam Fix Figuration is a figure series that focuses primarily on Gundam-type mobile suits. One of its distinguishing features is the redesign led by designer Hajime Kotoki. Unlike Gunpla or the Robot Spirit series, which aim to faithfully recreate the look of the anime, this series takes a different creative direction. A similar concept can be found in the Metal Build series, which is known for its extensive use of metal components. Fans of Kotoki's designs may find greater satisfaction in choosing Gundam Fix Figuration figures. What kind of mobile suit is the new Gundam Death Size? This design was revealed when Gundam Wing Endless Waltz was released. In Endless Waltz, the Gundams that appeared in the TV anime were shown in altered forms. In terms of setting, they are considered the same entities as their TV counterparts. However, in order to enhance the atmosphere of Endless Waltz, the designs were changed with the idea of actors changing costumes, resulting in the Endless Waltz versions of the Gundams. Based on these Endless Waltz designs, new designs were created to imagine what the original Gundams might have looked like. The Gundam Death Size that appears in Endless Waltz is the upgraded Gundam Death Size Hell. Before this upgrade, the Endless Waltz version of Gundam Death Size was designed by Kotoki. This design gained considerable popularity and became affectionately known as the Aoi version, or Kotoki version among fans. It even appeared in video games and made a significant impact. Originally, it was nothing more than a small gesture to please fans. However, the overwhelming popularity that led to the release of the figurine is a surprising turn of events. The resulting Gundam Death Size Endless Waltz version also plays an active role in the comics. In the comic, a state called Loose Set Equipment is introduced. This Gundam Death Size equipped with the loose set is what will be released in the Gundam Fix Figuration series. The equipment is an addition to both sides of the backpack. It allows you to fly in the Earth's gravity environment. While it provides aerial combat capabilities comparable to the Wing Gundam, its small size limits its flight duration. New features designed by Kotoki for the figure are also included. One of them is the Buster Shield. It can be attached to the waist or to several arms at the same time. It can also be attached to the beam size, creating a beam blade for hammer-like appearance. The beam size can also transform into the twin beam size form, similar to the Death Size Hell. It can also transform into a flying mode called Raven form. By integrating the Buster Shield into the nose, it takes on a bird-like appearance. By adjusting the position of the Buster Shield, it can even resemble a 3-headed dragon. This ambitious and intriguing design might seem to borrow features from Wing Gundam or Ultra Gundam. Additionally, it seems to be able to equip the active cloak wings from the previously released Gundam Death Size Hell. It can also mount the Buster Rifle from Wing Gundam and the Twin Buster Rifle from Wing Gundam Zero. It seems that even the mechas Weberger Wing Gundam Zero can be equipped. Wing Gundam Zero served as the design basis for all Gundams, and Professor G, the designer of Gundam Death Size, was involved in the development of Wing Gundam Zero. So it's not surprising that the equipment of Wing Gundam Zero can be mounted on Death Size. The Gundam Death Size from Gundam Fix Figuration is quite an expensive product. In Japan, it is sold exclusively through the online retailer Tomashi web store. The price is about $273. Be aware of price fluctuations due to currency exchange rates. Pre-orders in Japan will begin on January 10th. Shipment is scheduled for July 2025. Schedules may vary by country or region, so please keep that in mind. While it's not a price point for casual purchases, fans of Kotoki's designs will likely find it worth their attention. Next up is a Gunpla combined with traditional Japanese craftsmanship. The price is about $21,568. Compared to that, the price of the Gundam Death Size might seem almost cheap. This Gunpla uses a traditional Japanese technique called wajimonuri. Although it is classified as a Gunpla, it is sold in a finished state. Basically, it's more like a statue. The product being released is the Shin Musha Gundam. Musha Gundam is also a popular Gundam. By the way, do you know the difference between Musha and Samurai? It's a somewhat complex classification, and their roles often overlap. Musha generally refers to someone who fights on the battlefield. On the other hand, Samurai usually refers to someone who serves and works under a lord. Samurai often take on roles similar to government officials. While samurai sometimes fight for their lords, they often work to help run the government. To explain this to fans of the Star Wars series, you might see the Jedi Knights who work for the government of the Republic are closer to the role of samurai. While they engage in combat, they often work for purposes such as negotiation. This dual focus is why many Jedi who honed their non-combat skills were ultimately defeated by Count Dooku and General Grievous, who excelled in lightsaber combat. Oops, I seem to have gone off topic. Now, let's talk about wajimonuri. This is a traditional Japanese craft technique in which a lacquer called urushi is carefully applied in several layers, with decorations made of pure gold powder and other materials. It's often used for items such as tableware, and with proper care, it can retain its beauty for over 100 years. While there are certain precautions to keep in mind for storage, you don't have to be overly meticulous. This craft evolved as a technique for everyday items such as tableware, which explains its resilience. Avoid exposing it to hard knocks, direct sunlight or sudden temperature changes, and maintain proper humidity. While these conditions may sound complex, they can be summarized as long as the environment is compatible for humans, it should be fine. If you treat it with the same care and affection you would a Gunpla you built, it can remain beautiful for over 100 years. Additionally, by having it restored by a wajimonuri craftsman, it can regain its beauty even after more than a century has passed. This product can be purchased through a lottery application at a Japanese store called Takashimoya. In fact, it's a one-of-a-kind item with only one unit available. Only the winner of the lottery will have the chance to purchase it. Applications for the lottery will be open until January 13, 2025. While it's an extremely expensive item, some argue that considering it's wajimonuri using pure gold, it can be said to be reasonably priced. Lastly, let's talk about something a bit more light-hearted, the Robot Spirits BYG-ZAM. The development team shared their memories of designing the Robot Spirits BYG-ZAM. BYG-ZAM features a built-in gimmick that projects the zombie scratch onto a wall using a projection device. However, during the design phase, there were also proposals for including parts to recreate the weapon effects and providing a stand that reproduces the launch hatch of the Space Fortress Solomon. The beam weapon effect parts were considered because the beam components included with the destroyed Gundam Gunpla had been well received by users. Ultimately, to keep costs down, the idea of incorporating the projection device was chosen. The stand replicating Solomon's launch hatch was used when the prototype was on display. Personally, I find this launch hatch concept incredibly appealing. In the prototype display, it was showcased alongside multiple other mobile suits, creating the impression of bringing a scene straight out of the TV anime. However, including such a stand would likely have made the product significantly more expensive. Well, even so, it might still have been less costly to produce than the wajimonuri item. What do you think about it? Thank you for watching until the end. See you next time on the show.